When's the last time you got your heart broken?
Last night. I had a girl I thought I was dating we had been on about like 8 or 9 dates. I hadn't spoken to her in about 2 weeks. As you know, I told her I was busy with work, and she showed up at the bar with our mutual friend group with a man who they were on their 3rd date.
I just left feeling so single. I remember when I was in my mid-20s, early 20s, laughing with my friends, being like, oh, if we're still single, we're gonna have to freeze our eggs when we're 32. LOL, we're all kind of joking. And I just did not think that I was genuinely going to find myself single at 31, starting this process alone.
And the person that I am now does not want this. She did everything. She had a plan. She did it how she was supposed to do it. And that man woke up one day, 10 years into their marriage, 15 years after they had been together, because remember, they met their freshman year of college, and told her that actually what I wanted 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I do not want now.
Sometimes when I hear the kind of advice older women give to younger women, it baffles me. It makes me wonder how they coped in their marriages. Imagine hearing older women saying you need a man as a woman to feel relevant.
You have to have a man. You have to have a man to be truly worth it, worthy as a woman. You've got to have, if you don't have a man, you're a lesser woman.
And that's the reason why the majority of women are pick-me's, why they're desperate for men, why they have no identity without a man. Because even the older generation taught you that you're totally worthless as a woman without a man.
If you don't have a man, you ain't nothing.
I'm not sure if those women were speaking from a place of being pick-me's or from a place of lack of better understanding of the whole female and male dynamics in relationship. Let's see what people are saying in the comment section. I remember hearing this. Born in 1970, I was lucky and blessed the laws changed for women. Couldn't open a bank account. Times have changed. I dumped my ex because he wasn't behaving, and my aunt made me take him back because I am 42 and he was a quiet man with a good job. Yes, that's so true. That's what they believe in, and when you choose to do right by yourself, they try to make you feel bad about it. It's one thing to believe in something because you feel like that's the only way to go due to the restriction you have in your environment. It's another thing for you to think your life is all about what the society says. Even in this current day and age, some women still believe that we are nothing as women if you don't have men in our lives. It's understanding if they were forced to believe that due to how the society was structured some years back. But in this current day and age, having a woman think that way, my mom told me something similar, and at that moment I knew I could never rely on her. I heard this since the day I was born. It's insane. If having a man makes life automatically fulfilling, why do so many women look tired in their marriages? They always looked stressed, drained. Some of them sacrificed their whole life for the marriage. They lost their identity just because they are in a marriage. And the sad part of it is that the marriage never served them. Those women had no peace in that relationship. Some women started discovering who they are in their 50s and 60s. They started knowing what it is to have your own identity and to have peace as a human, because they never experienced that in their marriages. For the men, they are always at peace because they are the ones being served and catered for. So tell me, what exactly is fulfilling for women in marriage? What exactly is in there for women to feel worthy, for women to feel relevant because they are in marriage? But a good number of women, a large number of women, is really nothing there for them in marriages and relationships with men.
I am feeling pretty sad today. I just wrapped up a telehealth appointment to begin the egg freezing process, and I just left feeling so single. I remember when I was in my mid-20s, early 20s, laughing with my friends, being like, oh, if we're still single, we're gonna have to freeze our eggs when we're 32. LOL, we're all kind of joking. And I just did not think that I was genuinely going to find myself single at 31, starting this process alone. And I was just listening to my doctor, who was so wonderful, walk through the process. And the whole time I just kept thinking, like, I just can't believe I'm single at 31. And it would be one thing if I wasn't even trying, like if I wasn't putting myself out there, but it feels like I'm putting myself out there all the time. I'm trying to meet him in real life. I'm on the dating apps. I'm asking friends if they have anyone, and it just feels like I'm doing everything that I should be, right? Like I really am trying. And at one point during the appointment, she was like, you have to inject yourself, or you have to take an injection as part of the process for, I think she said two weeks or so. And I just kept thinking, like, I don't even know if I could inject myself. Like, if I was dating someone, if I lived with someone, that would be easy. But now here I am thinking, like, that's just another layer of me being single throughout this whole process. And I know that this process does not mean I'm going to need to use the frozen eggs. It doesn't mean I'm not going to meet him soon. And I know that people freeze their eggs for a variety of reasons, and it's just a precaution, but it just, I don't know, today just really got me. So yes, I'm sad today, and I might be sad tomorrow and the next day, but then I'll be okay. I don't know why that appointment got me so bad.
Men are continually pushing women into singlehood. I know that a good number of women out there yearn to be in a relationship with men, but men are continually pushing women into singlehood due to their bad behaviors. The society is so lenient on men. Of course, they created a society. A man at 40 can wake up tomorrow and decide he wants to have kids, and of course he will go for younger women. No pressure at all. But when it comes to women, we have this race against time, this invisible clock that the society has placed on us. And as a woman, if you don't have children at a certain age, people will start acting like your life is incomplete. They'll start treating you a certain way, asking you 101 question all the time. There is nothing really wrong in wanting to be in a relationship with a man and wanting to have kids. If you decide to go with the timeline of the society, just know that you will constantly be under pressure, and that is not a good way to live your life. Just cancel the society timeline. Live your life in your own terms, at your own pace, and that's the best way to live life. Much reason women stay single longer is because our standards are higher. It's better to be single than lose yourself to a man who might bring you down. You have to be so careful. Don't rush. I was in a relationship for 14 years, ended when I was 30, met my husband at 37, and started our family now. Wouldn't want it any other way. God's timing is perfect. Please don't feel like you're behind. Dealing with men can be very exhausting, and there is no guarantee that your relationship will last forever. Coming up is a story of a man that divorced his high school sweetheart. According to the story, they dated for 5 years and stayed married for 10 years. One day, out of the blues, he woke up and said he didn't want to be married anymore. They didn't have issues, according to the narrator. So he said he didn't want anymore. He ended the relationship, and it was the same marriage he yearned for, he longed for, he spoke about, he wanted. All of a sudden, he didn't want it anymore. And after the marriage, his behavior towards his children changed. Let's have a look.
There's a girl I know that went off to college, met her college boyfriend her freshman year. She comes from a great background, 2-parent household. He comes from a great background, 2-parent household. When they met, they both knew that they wanted the lives that they had grew up with, right? So they dated, they courted all through college, right? Met each other's family, talked about their dreams, their hopes, their desires for the future, what she wanted to do, career-wise, what he wanted to do, all of that type of stuff. They knew that when they graduated college, they wanted to get married, they wanted to go to graduate school, they eventually wanted to have children, buy a home, all of that type of stuff. And they did all of that. They courted through college. They graduated and then they got married. They went to graduate school and got their graduate degrees. They bought their home. And then they had children. And then they had another child. And then they had a third. 10 years into that marriage, that man woke up one day and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I think we were too young. I didn't really know myself. And the person that I am now does not want this. She did everything. She had a plan. She did it how she was supposed to do it. And that man woke up one day, 10 years into their marriage, 15 years after they had been together, because remember, they met their freshman year of college, and told her that actually what I wanted 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I do not want now. They got a divorce. They split up their things. They split up custody. She got her child support. And that man do not see them damn kids. Excellent father when they were married. As soon as he hit them streets, it shifted. It changed. He no longer has the time or the patience or the interest to be the father that he once was. She gets her child support every month like clockwork. But she is also pretty much single-handedly taking those kids back and forth to school, and she works a great job. She has a great career. But in addition to that, she is pretty much single-handedly taking those kids to school, to practices, to after-school programs, helping them with their homework, parenting them single-handedly. Every once in a while, he swoop in on the weekend and take them to have some fun and then bring them back. Why am I telling y'all this woman's business? Because there are so many women in the comments of those videos talking about how women need to choose better, how you have to have a plan. And I don't not agree with that, but the point of my video and the reason I made the video was with this girl in mind, and so many, she's not the only person I know with this story. The reason I made the video is because as much as people tell you not to have a plan B, when it comes to children, right? Because I imagine that it's easy to pivot when it's just you out of a situation like that. But when it comes to children, whether you have a plan with a man or married to a man, if you don't have such a strong desire to be a mother that you are okay doing it alone without any support or with just financial support, if you don't have the wherewithal to do it alone, don't do it. This is literally the pin in the conversation from that video I made about that trend where young women was talking about giving men their first child, and the responses in the comments. If you don't get it, you ain't got it.
Nothing is guaranteed in life, especially when you're dealing with a man. So because of this, don't make your marriage or your relationship a do or die affair. No, always prioritize yourself, because when a relationship ends, you have yourself. That's what you leave the relationship with, yourself, then before you start talking about material stuff. So when you pour into yourself, you're going to leave the relationship with the growth, the happiness, the joy you have because you built yourself. But if you decide to pour into a man, when that relationship ends, you will be the one at loss, because that man will be moving on with all your sacrifices, all your growth, everything you did for him, and you'll be left empty, stranded, upset and angry. I have a theory about this. He hit all the goals as a challenge, but once he conquered it, he was bored and over it. My mom and dad are still married, but she always said never have more kids than you can afford to take care of on your own, for this exact reason. Because you can't trust humans fully. You're only sure of yourself. That's if you know who you are, if you understand yourself, you're only sure of yourself. Nothing in life is guaranteed. If my husband wants a divorce, I will leave the house after our talk and never return. He can have everything including the kids. I refuse to be a single mom. Let's have a look at this video of a man that went on several dates. According to him, he's been on up to 8 or 9 dates with her. One day he decided to ghost her. He didn't reach out to her for 2 weeks, and then when he decided to hang out at a bar, he saw her after 2 weeks with another man, and he came online to talk about it. Let's have a look.
All right, when's the last time you got your heart broken?
Last night. I had a girl I thought I was dating we had been on about like 8 or 9 dates. I hadn't spoken to her in about 2 weeks, as I told her I was busy with work, and she showed up at the bar with our mutual friend group with a man who was they were on their 3rd date. On their 3rd date together.
Did she see you?
Oh yeah. No, we were like hanging out in a mutual group.
And did she say she's like dating this guy?
No, I like learned it through like the
Oh my
like
god.
kind of friends going back and forth to each other.
Damn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You lying. You are lying. You cannot tell me. You are not a top surgeon. You are not a president. And even if you were and you really wanted to see this lady, trust me, you will find the time. 2 weeks, 360 hours. So you're trying to convince me, try to convince us, try to convince the whole TikTok that within these 360 hours, you couldn't find time for her, even for a coffee, even during your break. And now you're coming on TikTok and you think we're going to cry for you. You are lying. Because if you manage to go at the bar yesterday, and I believe that you never phoned her, you never called her, because if you really wanted to, let's say that was your only day off, you still didn't call her, you still didn't invite her, you still chose to go at the bar with your mutual, not with her. So you are lying. The truth is, you didn't want to be or to see her no more. Yeah? So you were saying, oh, let me say to her that I'm busy, I can't do it, I don't have time, expecting her to wait until you change your mind, or wait until you check the other option, waiting. Yeah? And now you're surprised that she's not waiting on you, because this new breed of women, they don't wait. She went with someone else, and you saw her with your own eyes dating, flirting. That was her 3rd date. And because God, the universe is so good, you were there to witness. You were there. Because the same reason you didn't call her yesterday to go at the bar, God, the universe, or Buddha, or whatever you want to call, wanted to show you it's okay. You don't have time for her. Someone else will have time for her. You lie. She broke your ego, not your heart. Liar. 360 hours and you don't have time. Who are you? Even God has time for people, and we are 8 billion. Nonsense.
Like she rightly said, she bruised or broke his ego, not his heart. He was shocked to have seen her move on the way she did. He could not handle it. He felt he was the only one that had the liberty to move on and dump her that way, ghost her that way. How can you not speak to someone for 2 weeks and you expect them to wait for you? It's not like you already have an established relationship. Even if you already have an established relationship, you shouldn't ghost someone for 2 weeks and you expect that person to wait on you because you're who? The president or what? And he's there acting surprised. Like, really? His story is obviously not complete. He didn't tell us if she called him, if she reached out and he ignored her. He didn't see that part of the story. Personally, I think he dumped her already, but he was surprised to bump into her with another man and not being sad. Because some men feel like once they dump you, you should cry and that should be the end of your life and existence. They get pissed and angry when they see you happy after a breakup. 2 weeks because he was busy but had time to be at the bar. I didn't call her for 2 weeks, so she moved on and it broke my heart. 0 stars for self-reflection. There is a high probability that he had another lady he was dealing with when he wasn't talking to her, because men do this a lot, have this pattern. Once they ghost you, they're onto someone else. Just a few number of men can do without women. Most men out there, their lives revolve around women. It's all about women. If they're not with you, they're with another woman. So I would want to believe he was with another woman. If you would love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch how a man abandoned his pregnant wife in labor for his work. And I will see you all in another one. Thanks for watching.